Hi everyone, this is Joanna. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I decided to use one stamp to create 5 different cards and use it in a variety of different ways. And the stamp that I'm using is from Mini Delight by Altenew, Birthday Love Die. And it comes with 2 stamps, but I'm using the one that is the full heart balloon, and I'm also going to use coordinating die cut. So let's get started. Now let's do the first card just by doing the simplest thing, and that is stamping the balloon all over the card, because that's what that is the simplest, the first thing that comes to your mind when you do get that stamp set, to create a background with it. Now, in order to do that, I try to use colors that are not very, very dark, because you kind of want to see through them here and there. So the colors that I'm using is Daffodil Delight, Peach Peekaboo, they are all by Stampin' Up, and Parapizaz and Calypso. So there you go. And it's always nice to go ahead and stamp it off the page. You want to stamp it off the paper. Oh, wrong color. Let me do it on top. So you just see pieces and bits of it here and there. Okay, let me pick up a wipe, and let's do the Calypso. This one is going to definitely brighten up the card, make it a happy card. Oops, I didn't ink it up good. And let's do the Parapizaz. You don't have to do that many balloons. This is an overload of balloons here. I really didn't have to do that many. Oops, I messed up the colors. Alright, so now it's very simple. I just, again, cut out from the coordinating color. It's Parapizaz. I knew I'm using Parapizaz here, so it's going to tie it together. And I'm just putting the greeting, and that's it. That's the card for you. Right here I use Calypso, because I knew that I also was using Calypso color in it. And there you go. You have this really simple, fun card. Okay, but how about if we use this stamp set in a completely different way? Well, how about make a Christmas tree out of it? Look at that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? So, of course, I already got things ready, and I stamped and pre-cut all the little pieces here. So they are stamped in Old Olive, also by Stampin' Up. And what I decided to do is, I decided to curl up the ends. So you just go ahead with here I have my little brush, and just curl up the ends. You don't have to. It looks great without it, but I think that when you curl the ends, you get a completely different dimension, and it really does look like a Christmas tree. So let me just put it right here so you can see it. And this is so simple, because we're just going to be layering those pieces, and it will just come together so fast. Alright, so here we go. And also, I'm not putting glue on the entire balloon heart. Well, by the way, you guys can probably do it also just with the heart die cut and stamp set, if you have one, if you don't have this balloon one. Okay, so there you go. We're just gonna start with 3 at the bottom, and the second row is I also created 3, but they're a little bit squished together. So let's do the second one. Also 3. See how nice it looks when they are just popping out just a tiny little bit. I think it looks great. Let's do this one here. And so on and so forth until we get to this 3rd row. And again, make sure everything is popped out. We have only 2 in this one. And then one last one, which is also the one that I put a little start on. So you really know that this is a Christmas tree. So again, I'm going to just put that on top, and voila, you have your Christmas tree. Now, if you have noticed on this one here, on this particular one, and on all these, I put liquid applique. If you have never used it, watch it just for 1 second. This is the most fun thing ever. So I'm going to buzz in your ear with my heat gun. So this is the liquid applique, the white one. You can get it on Amazon, sometimes Michael's. But look what happens. We just heat it up for 1 second. So at this point, you would put a star, or you can decorate it actually whichever way you want. Alright, so now it's hot. Look at this. Really quick. It's going to happen really fast. You see how it's popping up and bubbling? How fun is that? It totally looks like snow. And you just stamp the greeting right here and put it on a green cardstock, and you have a Christmas tree and a Christmas card with a balloon stamp. Well, let's continue on. Another thing that I decided to do with it was to create a stencil. And this is my stencil. I just die cut it in a random order. And what I decided to do is I also cut out 3 different balloons right here. Now they actually do line up with my stencil because I did it so that it would line up with the stencil, but you of course don't have to do it. But this is basically the card. You lift it up and there you go. The hearts are inside and you can see them on the outside. Lift it on the inside. So the white cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. It's this one here, and I scored it at 1/4. So I already have the score line here. Now let me just grab my stencil and some cardstock, and let me just sponge it really quick so that we get those cute little hearts all over the card. And I decided to cut out those 3 hearts before I sponged the other ones on, because it was too hard for me to cut them out afterwards without leaving any trace of the die cut out on the outside. I'm going to show you in just 1 second what I'm talking about right here. Do you see that? I cut it out and you can see that there was still an imprint. So really easy way, creating your own stencil. Fun, fun, fun. And I'm using picked raspberry, distress oxide. There you go. Okay, now if you feel very ambitious, these are the ones that I actually cut out that are gonna go inside. If you feel very ambitious, you can take and leave the stencil on and where's my perfect pearl? Oops. What I did here is I sprayed it with a perfect pearl. So basically when the stencil was still on, and I can't find it right now because I'm so disorganized, I would give it a spray with perfect pearl, water mixed with perfect pearl, and you get this little shimmer. So you can see all those hearts actually have a pretty shimmer. But I didn't do it, so I'm gonna just lift this out. and there's my stenciling. So I'm gonna grab another piece of cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm gonna put glue on that little 1/4-inch flap and attach it to that card. So I'm gonna have 2 pieces of cardstock the same size, creating a little flap. See that? Now I can put glue on my little hearts and put them right here. I put them in the little cutout windows, just like that. And because I'm lining them up with the windows, when I open the card, they should in theory be on the reverse side. Yep, there you go. And there they are. So right now I decided I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. I just took and I covered the edges in the same color, pink, and I added a little bit of wild violet to it too. I'm sorry for shaking you guys. I know it must be very annoying watching it, but you're just gonna go all around it. Alright, and then I took some of the violet and I added a little bit of the violet, not too much, but it's not too much, but yet it was just enough to make the difference. Okay, and all we have to do at this point is just to attach the card and put a greeting. And right here I took Nuvo drops. If you have not seen Nuvo drops, that's what they are. And I added Nuvo drops to the hearts that are on the inside. So voila, there is our next card. Isn't it fun? And I embossed actually the greeting in black embossing powder, so it's kind of shiny. But there you go. There's our next card. Okay, so how about if we take and create something completely different, like a heart. Not a heart, I'm sorry, a flower from the hearts. Isn't it fun? Look at this. And totally thinking outside the box today. And basically what I did was I cut out all those hearts, and I'm gonna take and we're in different shades actually of red and some orange. I'm going to use the green for the leaves. So basically you just cut things in half just like that. Okay, and once you cut them, you can start creating your flower, which is right there. Okay, so there you go. So let's start with the first petal. And these one that way. These guys are gonna move this way because this is the opposite end of the flower. And also, if you feel ambitious, you can add a little oomph by using a pen and just, oh no, that's the wrong side, and just folding it, or you can do it with your finger too. And we just want to go and overlap it just barely, overlapping it. Okay, so we're going to do that with every single petal. Different shades. And let's put the orange in there. And we're gonna start putting the same colors again. So basically, when you have one of those balloons and you're gonna cut it in half, you'll use 1/2 for this flower and 1/2 for that one. This one, the petals go this way. This one, the petals go the opposite way. So you're not going to waste it. You're just going to be making 2 flowers at the same time. So there you go. Just like that. And you're going to continue on. And when you're done with it, we're just going to take the green and use it as the leaves. Just like that. And look at that. Voila. Here is another card for you. Let me show you one last card before we go really quickly. And it's this one here. What I did was I actually clear embossed. I sponged first in picked raspberry, peacock feathers, and spice marmalade and fossilized amber, but just lightly, and I clear embossed the balloons. Okay, now that they are clear embossed, I'm going to take and start adding more color to it. And when you're going to start sponging and adding more color, you will see that the balloons actually pop up more. See that? They all are popping up more. Just blend it nicely. Let's do marmalade. So there you go. The darker you go, the more pop you're gonna get. And now you can take and wipe it. And this is the background that you're gonna get. And now all you need really is, let me see, where's some cutouts, die cuts. We have the greeting here. And the balloons, and they will go right here, just like that. And what I did was I popped them out with the double-sided tape and attached a little bit of string so that you can actually see that they are attached to they're attached together and they're attached to celebrate. So you're just gonna have to take this double-sided tape, the foam tape, and start attaching them. And look at this fun card that we have here. Voila! So it's one stamp and so many different outcomes. Look at that. We have that. We have this one here. That one. Where's the rest? And these two. So although the stamp is really small, look at that. This is amazing. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ta!